Durk case, his lawyer Drew Finling not giving up on the application for a bond. Now, they were denied last week by a magistrate judge. In federal court, you have a magistrate judge and a district judge. The district judge is on top of the magistrate judge. So if the magistrate judge denies you, you can ask the district judge to take a look at it. That's what his lawyers are doing here. I think this is a good decision because, quite frankly, in front of the magistrate judge who denied Lil Durk, Drew Finling could have pulled a rabbit out of a hat, and that magistrate judge would have remanded the rabbit. You have to consider the fact, and I hope the district judge will, that this case, as pled several months ago, has been significantly watered down in terms of how it's being pled against Durk, where you used to have an allegation that we, the government, are going to prove to you exactly who he paid the bounty to. Now the government's saying, oh, we're not going to be able to do that.
A viral tweet made waves claiming, Durk's lawyers just submitted the sneakiest bond proposal I've ever seen. He might be out before GTA 6 drops. The post, highlighted by Mo, an attorney known for representing rappers and workers, quickly caught fire. Mo explained that a substitute judge had swiftly denied Durk's first bond request, largely due to the severity of the charges, a murder-for-hire case. But what's raising eyebrows is what went down during that initial hearing. According to Mo, the details from that session could actually work in Durk's favor the second time around, setting the stage for a potential release.
Update on Lil Durk. He had his bond hearing today. He looked good. He looked like he was in good spirits. No crazy weight gain or anything like that. He looked good. The judge was on the same vibe she was on last time, which is that, wait, they're saying murder for hire. They're saying you put bounties up. They're saying you ordered. They're saying I'm saying that's going to be no bond. There's basically no argument you can make to this judge in a murder for hire case to get a bond. Is that the prosecution's case has taken two major hits. One, the prosecution has had to abandon their allegation that he rapped and celebrated about this murder, that he put these lyrics out talking about, oh yeah, I got you. You out here screaming, no, no, crying in the street. Prosecution had to back away from that allegation. It was proven false.
What could lead to Durk's release is the prosecution backtracking on their own case, telling the judge they'll no longer use his lyrics as evidence, and are shifting their approach entirely.
Another allegation they backed away from, which is huge. It shows the weakening of the case. Previously, the prosecution had alleged that Durk paid the bounty through one of his co-defendants, and they named the co-defendant. Now they've backed off that allegation. They're not actually saying that Durk paid the bounty through the co-defendant or anyone else. And the fact that they're not saying that suggests that previously they thought they were going to be able to prove that he paid the bounty through this guy. And now they know we're not going to be able to prove that he paid the bounty.
As Mo pointed out, the prosecution's case against Lil Durk has started to unravel, especially after they dropped the use of his lyrics as evidence. But in a twist, that move came hand in hand with a new charge. Reports confirmed that Durk, born Durk Banks, was hit with a second superseding indictment. While prosecutors removed all references to lyrics, they added a serious new accusation: stalking resulting in death tied to the death of Quando's cousin. This is now added to his existing charges: murder for hire using interstate facilities, conspiracy, and use of firearms, including a machine gun, resulting in death. So while removing the lyrics may seem like a win, it also marks a major shift in strategy, and not necessarily in Durk's favor. Still, his legal team sees the weakness. Calling the case a joke, Durk's lawyer argued the government had leaned almost entirely on his lyrics, only to later drop them. With that change, his team wasted no time. They've already filed for a second bond hearing, confident that the case is starting to fall apart.
The case is as follows. So there was an indictment that did not name him, right? It named others, and then there was an unindicted person. And then 3 weeks later, that indictment was what's called the first superseding indictment, and it does name him. The indictment was identical, except the unnamed person now became Durk Banks. And this is the really important part, Ak. The second indictment, what's called the first superseding indictment, only had one new fact. It had one new fact, and that was it alleged that there was a video by Durk that celebrated and monetized.
Aware that the evidence against Lil Durk was scant, his lawyer Drew began digging deeper. He reached out within the rap industry to inquire about the songs the feds were planning to use against Durk. What he discovered was revealing. These tracks were old, far too outdated to be relevant in the case. Drew realized that these songs, which the prosecution had hoped to use as key evidence, shouldn't even be considered in the first place. This only strengthened Durk's defense, as the case seemed to rest on flimsy ground.
Makes sense. That song, those lyrics were done a long time before that. I mean, we were hearing it from all different directions. We were hearing it from studio people. We were hearing it from people that wear suits to work every day, executives.
Exactly, yep.
And so we were like, we got to get to work here.
Given the circumstances, Durk's lawyer made it clear they were ready to go all the way. However, with the new charges, this could be risky. Academics then asked if Durk would consider a plea deal, to which his lawyer firmly replied, "Absolutely not. We're going the entire way."
So, likelihood of a plea. I think a lot of people have seen like this seems like it's a do or die thing. This is kind of like it's going to be like a 1 or 0 type of situation. You're either are or you're not. Is Durk, from your understanding, or you as a lawyer right now, as his criminal attorney, are you open to possible conversations about plea deals? Are you thinking, no, we're going all the way? Would you entertain it, just entertain it, because that's your job to listen to it and maybe present it to Durk, or that's just off the table?
It's a conspiracy commitment case. It's an all or nothing case, and he did not participate in a conspiracy to commit. And so there is no alternative. It's a life sentence, potential life sentence. So this case is going to go to 12
Considering
people.
the situation, Durk's lawyer was adamant about taking the case to trial. However, with the new charges added, this path could be risky. Academics then asked if Durk would entertain a plea deal, to which his lawyer responded without hesitation, "Absolutely not. We're going all the way."
First Amendment argument here, right? That this violates the First Amendment. Can you talk about that?
Right, for sure. I mean, I'm expressing myself. I can say the things that I want to.
Durk's legal team is gaining confidence, with some lawyers predicting his release, similar to Young Thug's case. In Thug's situation, despite the use of his lyrics as evidence, he was released after time served, and many others were not convicted. This raises questions about using rap lyrics as proof of a crime. Durk's lawyer points out that the song was released months ago, complicating the case. While the prosecution dropped the lyrics, new charges could change everything, especially with emotional news footage adding complexity.
Done for 3 people who police say at a Savannah rapper, a member of his entourage. It happened in Los Angeles, and cameras captured
The question now becomes, how solid is the evidence against Lil Durk if the prosecution is dropping key pieces? The answer might surprise you. It's actually a lot. According to court updates, over 230 gigabytes of digital evidence is being processed, including audio and video recordings, surveillance footage, and a staggering 20,000 pages of reports. All this evidence comes from an informant named Jam, who is believed to have provided crucial information to the authorities. The feds claim that Durk paid to have 2 people taken care of: Stefan Mack, who allegedly had something to do with the death of Durk's brother and Jam's baby mother, who tragically passed away after Durk discovered Jam had been wearing a wire. According to the prosecution, Jam is seen as the linchpin to proving Durk's involvement in these crimes, with 2 new murder cases now tied to his name. There's a striking moment on Instagram Live where Durk noticed something strange about Jam's behavior. In the video, Jam can be seen adjusting his jacket and whispering into it, a clear indication that he was wearing a wire. This raised alarms for Durk, who had long suspected Jam of acting suspiciously. In an interview he gave months before his arrest, Durk opened up about his ability to spot people who might turn on him, revealing that he was always several steps ahead, saying, "I see stuff from a mile away." Durk went on to explain how he's learned to keep his circle tight and trust no one, even his closest friends. He no longer shares personal details like where he lives, a sentiment born out of a deep sense of betrayal. The sadness in his voice was palpable as he reflected on Jam's decision to cooperate with the authorities.
Nobody is ever allowed to my house. It be my best friend never been in my house.
For real?
I promise.
Your best friend?
Promise. Like, it's people like that I just don't allow around my girl and my kids, cause it's like I'm just a different type. I'm not the. We're gonna have family night at Durk house tonight. It's the. You gotta watch.
Everybody at Durk's crib.
Yeah, we gotta. Everybody getting watched. We gotta watch everybody. Hey, you go too. Hey, they go too close to them kids. You know what to do. Like, that's how I play. Like, I don't play.
If you're not familiar with the situation, Jam is the same individual Durk once trusted enough to give $50,000. However, what stands out now is the people seen in the background during Durk's Instagram Live. The footage takes on a deeper meaning when you consider Jam's role as the informant. It's clear that in hindsight, Durk had a growing suspicion about Jam, and this live stream offers a glimpse into the tension and unease he was feeling at the time. The people in the background seem to add another layer to the complexity of the moment, as Durk navigates the fallout from what would later be revealed as a deep betrayal.
What's his name, bro? Steady crying, huh?
He's steady crying. Feed him. Feed him.
Get in the milk, bro. Get in the milk so baby mama get the trigger, bro.
You see that?
Feed
for my
him.
baby. That's really how y'all hold y'all babies, ain't it? I gotta hold my money like this. It's too much. Crazy though. Motherfuckers sitting up there doing all this. Sneak this and the internet games and all this. Up some money, do something. Like, we winning, bro. I can do whatever it is I want to do, I can do it. Just buy what I want, do what I want. Y'all can't do that, bro. Goof
Bro got out what?
You know
how many you did all?
How many years I did it now?
Yeah, that's your last bit. 12.
12.
That boy popped out 12 years.
Yeah.
So much money. We really just get in order to just figure out the lanes, man, boy.
The Instagram Live was the first sign that Jam might be cooperating with the authorities. The men in the background during the live were the same ones who had been with King Von while jewelry shopping. Now, all of those men are behind bars, awaiting trial alongside Lil Durk. The authorities are also tying Durk to another murder case, pointing to an Instagram story he posted after Stefan Mac's death. Additionally, another story of Durk laughing the following day raised questions. The breakthrough came through DJ Academic's stream, where the feds connected Durk's music to his alleged crimes, providing critical evidence for his arrest.
You see other shit, boy? What? Tweak on my folks. Hey, somebody always said, slap a car. Somebody always said, slap a car.
Initially, rumors spread that Durk's associates were turning on him, but the truth might be less dramatic. Durk himself was inadvertently giving authorities information. According to police records, there's only one alleged snitch, Jam, who is believed to be cooperating with the prosecution. Durk addressed the rumors head-on, dismissing the speculation as false. He pointed out that people outside the courtrooms, trying to act like detectives, don't understand the full picture. He firmly rejected the rumors, especially the accusations, that his late friend Von was involved in any way, emphasizing that the real situation is far more complex than what outsiders might assume. Durk made it clear he stays away from anything illegal, so he doesn't get caught up in these types of situations. Despite these challenges, there's still a glimmer of hope for Durk. A lawyer weighed in, suggesting that his release date will largely depend on the U.S. attorney's interest in pursuing the case. Prosecutors often focus on making deals with individuals who have the least involvement in the crime, and the idea is to secure testimonies from these individuals to build a stronger case. If the least involved person doesn't cooperate, they move on to the next person in line, going for those most likely to flip. However, the prospects for Durk's case aren't all bleak. Kodak Black's lawyer, Bradford Cohen, weighed in, saying, Durk has a strong chance of avoiding conviction in the King Von and Quando Rondo case, unless someone testifies against him. He pointed out that there isn't enough solid evidence against Durk yet to make the case airtight. Cohen referred to a single text message that could potentially tie Durk to the case, but he emphasized that it's circumstantial and doesn't prove much on its own. He stressed the need to see what other evidence the prosecution may have, especially if there's a snitch or physical evidence like tapes. For now, Cohen remains cautious, suggesting that it's far too early to claim the case is a sure thing for the prosecution.